Sony has been following a 6-monthly cycle for its flagship offerings, and it seems like just yesterday when we reviewed the Xperia Z2, a loaded device that we called a great all-rounder, but one that was a tad low on excitement. Fast forward to 6 months later, and we have its successor sitting on our desk, a device that frankly just seems like a small upgrade. As far as we are concerned, the Z3 has a lot riding on its shoulders, considering it needs to stand out as a smartphone versatile enough to be a worthy premium option. With all that forming background to our review, we set out to gauge its mettle. Sony's omni-balanced design, apart from being blocky, was getting rather boring. The Xperia Z3 still sports the same design ethos. But Sony's engineers deserve kudos for the way they've managed to change it drastically without disturbing the balance. A few subtle modifications here and there, and the Z3 manages to stand out with a distinct identity of its own, sporting rounded, curvy spines that are quite comfy to hold, and slim bezels that keep the device from being unwieldy. The Xperia Z3 is a stunner in a subtle, non-flashy way, and as with other high-end Sony smartphones, it's waterproof too. To add to that, the four corners of the Z3 are fashioned out of an impact-resistant material. Coming to the specifics, there are no hardware keys to be found on the fascia like before. There are front-facing stereo speakers, which make for handy additions. The left spine holds a dock connector, along with a flap-covered micro USB port, while the top is home to an open audio socket and the secondary microphone. The right side is fairly cramped, and you'll find another flap that hides a micro SD card slot and a slot for the nano SIM. Then there's a circular metal power key with a flush volume rocker right below, and the dedicated camera release key. The flat rear holds a camera lens surrounded by a chrome ring up top, boasting its credentials on the side and an LED flash below. As with the Z2, the Sony Xperia Z3 rocks a 5.2-inch display with Full HD resolution and 424 ppi density for your visual pleasure. The Z2's display was pretty capable, and the Z3's is even better, with higher brightness levels and pleasing visuals. In case you need your images and videos to pop out even more, you can choose to enable the Super Vivid mode. You can also tweak white balance manually. The Xperia Z3 runs the same custom UI we've seen on Sony's handsets previously, retaining the original feel of Android without being too overpowering. The base platform is Android KitKat 4.4.4. As usual, you get a custom lock screen with quick access to the camera, 5 home screens with tons of widgets, and a sidebar that slides out from the left of the app drawer, giving you quick access to the Play Store and letting you manage installed apps. Then there are Sony's small apps, tiny floating windows for snappy access to common stuff, like the calculator, timer, calendar, etc. As usual, you can add installed widgets at small apps and download more from the ones available on the Play Store. The settings menu hides a plethora of options, including Simple Home, Sony's version of a simplified launcher meant for newbies and the elderly. The Sony Xperia Z3 offers a 20.7-megapixel primary shooter, similar to its predecessor, and supports 4K video recording as well. The custom app comes packed to the gills with features, and as usual, shoots in the 8-megapixel resolution when set to the default Superior Auto mode. As we've seen on other Xperia smartphones, the camera app includes tons of frills and even downloadable add-ons, similar to the Lens concept on Windows Phone. In terms of pure image quality, the Z3 didn't let us down, and it managed to impress us with the lovely captures we got out of it in different situations. The latest flagship uses the same 3GB RAM and Snapdragon 801 combo as its predecessor, with the CPU clocked marginally higher at 2.5 GHz. The UI flies on it, and there's no sign of any speed bumps whatsoever, whether you're performing basic, productivity-related tasks or burning up the racetrack on Asphalt 8. Storage-wise, there's 16GB on board, with about 11GB available to use. You can add another 128GB, and there's USB OTG support too. The Z3 hides a sealed 3100 mAh battery, which is excellent in terms of the juice it provides. Our standard video loop test lasted for a little over 12 hours, which is extremely good. Even in real life, we found the smartphone alive well into the second day with medium usage. Sony's Stamina mode and a more aggressive Ultra Stamina mode are available to extend it even further. Amongst the existing set of devices, the LG G3 is possibly the closest rival to the Xperia Z3, and it's a tough choice between the two. The G3's 2K screen takes the cake, but otherwise LG's handset matches the Xperia Z3 in capabilities. Where the Xperia Z3 shines out is the build quality, its underwater capabilities, and the battery life, all very critical factors. To sum up, not only is the Z3 a big step up from its predecessor, it's also a very worthy option in case you're on the hunt for a loaded daily driver that isn't just an all-rounder, but manages to bring some excitement as well.